Young, and today we're doing something different. We're gonna do this new segment. I'm gonna try to do this every Thursday on a weekly basis, and I'll see how that goes. But it's called Yo Steve. And I'm gonna bring on somebody within the audience, and we're gonna talk about a question that you may have for me, and then we'll talk about what you've got going on too. And the first person that I have on is Marek Polak. Did I say that right, Marek?
Yeah, you got it right. I know it's difficult to pronounce, but you
I
got pretty
can hear
much
you,
right.
brother.
Huh? Can you hear me?
I think you're on mute or something because I can't hear you.
No, I am not on mute.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yep,
Something
you
happened
got
to
it.
it's my mic. Okay. So go ahead. Say it again just to make sure we got it.
Yes, you got it right. I mean, the name is quite difficult to pronounce, but you really pronounce it as like Sidney Pollack, you know, the director.
Bullock. Yeah.
Yep.
And
So you
Mark
got it right.
is right.
And Marek is Marek. Yeah.
Cool. So Mark, you had a question and I emailed the list and I said, ask me anything you want. And you had a specific question that you wanted to ask me.
Yes, in one of your previous mobile app chat episodes, you have mentioned that there was something in your life, something specific, that made you turn and decide to go on your own. Because I understand you have been working a typical employment, 9 to 5 corporate type of job. So I was wondering, what was that? Do you want to share?
Sure. So Mark, it was you asked for a specific book, and so I'll give you the book. There's a book
Mm-hmm.
that I recently did an audiobook version of, and it's called The Obstacle is the Way. Now, I read it after I left the full-time job already,
Okay.
but that would be one book that I highly recommend because even if I was at a full-time job, it's awesome and it's written by Ryan Holiday, and just the fact that the key takeaway that I have is the fact that we try to a couple of different key takeaways. So one is there are things that we can't control in life, and we have to learn to let go of it. There's this like Christian. I'm not a religious guy, okay? I was raised Buddhist, but there's this Christian thing that says, God give me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, to have the wisdom to what's the other one? To have the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that really impacts me because even in personal life, like there are things that I can't change, and I have to learn to accept it. And there are things that I can't change. So if somebody's being mean to me or doing something to me, then I can't change them. I can't be like, hey, this is how I can change them. I can only change the way I react to them. And it really helps me. Just that saying alone kind of puts that in my mind. And it also teaches us that like sometimes we give ourselves too much credit, and a lot of times we as entrepreneurs, the obstacle is the journey, right? We see an obstacle, whether it's a full-time job or something else, as just being a big obstacle that we can't go around, but it is actually a part of the journey. So how do you get through that obstacle? And that was really powerful for me. But Mark, the real reason that got me to leave was the fact that I joined a mastermind, and it was the Fire Nation Elite Mastermind from Entrepreneurial on Fire. And I started seeing everybody within the community. We had a private Facebook group saying, hey guys, I'm leaving my full-time job. Here's the date. I'm leaving my full-time job. Here's the date. And I was like, you know what, I got to set a date. So I just set a date, and I happened to hire a business coach at the same time, and that was one of the podcast episodes that I've done. And we talked about, like, she was just asking me all the right questions. Okay, how much you want to earn? How are you going to make that? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? And if I said, look, I want to make 5,000 with apps, it's like, how many downloads do you need to get? Well, let's just assume 5,000. She's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to get 5,000 downloads? I'm like, well, I'm going to try to reach out to the press. I'm going to do all this other thing. She's like, okay, how are you going to reach out to the press, right? Like, she started asking me all these, how are you going to do these? And it really got me thinking. But it wasn't until, like, I joined this community, and I was like, oh, wow, like, everybody's doing this, and I should probably do it too. That really got me to leave.
Wow, that's really, really, really cool. I mean, that leads me to actually one more question, if you don't mind. Is you mentioned obviously the coach tried to ask you the questions. The questions were really not for him to find out, is for you to make you think. Okay. Have you had the moment that you were thinking, maybe I'm over optimistic in sort of like my projections? I need 5,000 downloads, or I will reach out to the press, to the influencers, and it will work. And the actual life proved something different.
You know what? After that episode, it's a great question. And after that episode, I actually started thinking that I can't do that, right? Like all the things that I thought I was going to make up the 10 grand, I said, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can get the 5,000 per month. The other 5,000 was just selling like info products. And I was like, I don't think I can do that either. And so it started making me think about, at the time I didn't have sponsorships for the podcast. I was like, well, maybe I could start reaching out to sponsors and see if that'll be a piece of the pie of the revenue. And then I started thinking, well, I could probably do some consulting because I was already doing consulting at the time. I said, well, I could probably ramp that up a little bit more, and that would make up for the piece of the pie. And it got the ball rolling because I was like, I came to the realization that I don't think I could generate all that in that given amount of time. And so I needed to earn money fast, and I knew that getting to 5,000 would take a while. And so it got me thinking about all the other ways that I can bring money in without, just started thinking about all the other different ways without relying on the two that I originally thought was the way I was going to go.
Okay. And then at some point you just accepted that there are some things that you cannot change, and you just need to find a workaround to make it work.
Yep, that's right.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Do you have anything else?
No, nothing specific. I mean, I'm currently in a very, very similar situation type of thing. I'm about to leave my full-time employment. I'm in a notice period, so I would say I'll be free in about 2 weeks. And again, this idea that came to my mind about going on my own, it is something that goes back to last year. Okay. But because of the security, because of the uncertainty and things that I was worrying about, I'm sort of person that, I want to provide stability and security to my family. I feel responsible. Even that's not always the case, but that's my, personal feeling. And at some point I've decided, if I don't start it now, then I will not start it at all. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Well, Mark, I want to talk about what you got going on, what you got working on, because you got a new app coming out too. But what was the pivotal moment for you to say that, yes, I'm actually going to leave this job?
As I said, the story actually goes back to the previous year. Okay, I was in a quite, I would say, safe and secure position, well paid, great team of people working with me. Massive project for the large organization, and at some point my manager said that my position is at risk. Okay, there is a very fine chance that I might go, I might lose the job. Okay, but again, mortgage commitments and so on made me think I'm not gonna wait till end of the year just to find out yes or no. Okay, so I started looking for the other opportunities, and I literally send my CV resume for 2 job posts, which one of them turned to be actually offer, much better paid. Okay, but at the same time I was thinking, if the worst situation becomes reality, I will go on my own. Okay, at that stage the application I had in mind, it was only my idea. Okay? It wasn't even well formulated. It was just my gut that this is what I would like to do. Okay, so what happened? I changed the jobs between in January. I started a new job in January, but this idea of actually having application, having my own company, and being able to progress my career the way I want it, rather than someone else directs me. Right. That is the idea that actually kept me going and going and going and going. And because I was on a 6-month probation, I've made a decision that before the end of my probation, I'm going to hand my resignation, which I did.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you very much. I'm really frightened. There was a lot of concerns, a lot of worries, but I have determination to actually make it work. I have determination to make it work.
Mark, I gotta tell you, man, I'm still frightened. I've been on my own for 6 months, and I'm always frightened. But yeah, I mean, I think the benefits of being on your own far outweigh the challenges. The fact that I get to do this and nobody's really telling me whether I can do this or not, and be able to still make a decent amount of income is
Mm-hmm.
a huge benefit. And while I'm making far less than I made at a full-time job, like the happiness level is just insanely higher.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just have to wait, what's important. And this is what I discussed with my lovely wife, and we've made the decision that even if we're gonna drop on a monthly income, we will make it that it is gonna be only deep for certain amount of time.
Right.
We have plans for the for some amount for the target for
Mm-hmm.
us, and I will do all I can to actually make it happen. And
Do
in
you have
terms
kids?
of this, pardon?
Do you have kids?
Yes, I have a daughter, 6 years old.
Nice.
Okay,
And
and I would say she's more successful than I am. Actually, last week, she trains the karate, Shotokan karate. Okay, and we went to the national championship, and she came back with the silver.
nice.
So that was, proud for me as a parent, and so that's the thing. So I'm going to follow her.
That's nice. So tell us about the new app that you have coming out that you're working on.
Okay. Um, it might sound really weird or something, but I came up with the idea while I was having shower. Okay. Uh, Probably not very original way of coming up with some ideas, but um, what I have observed in our household, the very common and constantly repeating problem in terms of the shopping. I'm talking about the grocery shopping that we normally go to, things like the Tesco, Safeway on every weekend. Okay, and I've observed a pattern. Every time we are preparing to go shopping on Saturdays, okay, neither myself nor my wife want to prepare the list. It's kind of thing that we open the fridge, we open the cupboard, see what's missing, what we need to buy, that sort of thing, okay. But no one actually wants to write it down, okay. We will remember. And and as you can possibly guess, it was always happening that we either forgot about something,
Right.
okay, or we end up, staring at some product on the shelf and thinking, do I still have it in? I'll just grab it in case. And then you're coming back home and you realize you actually got 2 boxes of it. So obviously that was sort of like generating the wastage. Okay, and I was thinking about the idea, that sort of like a shopping list or like a supermarket planner. Okay, there is a number of applications on the market. I've done quite a lot of research, see what's available, downloaded, paid for a number of applications, played with each of those applications for some time to see whether it's gonna address the problem. Okay, and although there is a huge number of really good applications, okay, it seemed like none of those applications were addressing the problem with the repetitive type of shopping. Okay, being realistic, if you look even at your household, okay, you got a wife, you got kids, and I pretty confidently can say that most of the items that you buy during the weekend shopping is pretty much the same stuff. Yeah, we always buy the milk, we always buy eggs, cheese, tomatoes, any kind of stuff. Okay. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if actually we don't have to compose the list every time we go for the shopping, okay, and treat it more like a task list where we accomplish something, but instead of it, we take it from slightly different perspective. So rather than thinking what I have to buy, okay, and answer this question by adding the items to your list, is about what I have and what I don't have.
Mm.
I would say in stock,
Mm-hmm.
at home, in my fridge. Okay, so the application that is currently in a development, Repetolist, is Repeto for repetitive type of purchases. Okay, is pretty much once you have done at the very beginning, you add the items that you normally have. Okay, And I don't want to force users to some sort of list categories predefined. Okay, you really type your items in a way it is meaningful for yourself or for your wife or whoever you're sharing your shopping responsibilities with. Okay, so you might keep it as simple as, I don't know, eggs, milk, cheese. Okay, or you might go slightly deeper and say, I don't know, semi-skimmed milk, 2 pints, fresh range eggs, 6 pack, mozzarella cheese, 200 grams or something. Okay, so you really type your own labels. So each item appears like a label on your screen with 2 positions left or right. One being sort of like, I got it at home. The second one, I don't have it at home. Okay, all you have to do is really swipe left or right to mark the item as in stock or out of stock.
Right.
So let's say it is Tuesday, you're making yourself coffee and you realize that, okay, you got, only very small amount of coffee left, which means the next time you go in the shopping, you have to buy it. Okay, instead of remembering or putting the sticky note on a fridge, you just swipe it like, okay, I don't have it. Okay, that's it. And you put your phone in the pocket, whatever. Then let's say that the friends are coming to your house and on Thursday, and you suddenly run out of the tea bags. Okay, or you see there are only 3 or 4 left. That means I have to buy them next time. You swipe it. And then when you go to the shop, you only filter the list and it actually shows the items that you have to buy. Okay, you don't have to worry about, okay, do I need to buy bread or I don't have to buy the bread? Do I still have the baking flour in the carpet or I don't have it? Okay, and as you put them in a physical trolley in a shop, a shopping cart, okay, you sort of like swipe them back and mark them as you have them in stock. So by the time you finish your shopping, your filtered list is empty, okay, and you go back to an original list which shows as every single item is in stock. So it is really the initial investment where you have to create your list. But again, you don't have to create it all in one go. You can keep adding them as you feel appropriate. That is the idea.
I like the idea. Here, I'm gonna share my screen real quick because I just pulled up your website. Here it is. So here's the app.
Yep.
Repet. Is it Repeto List? So REPETO list.com is the site.
Correct.
So now you see these different things. Okay, you got it. When you see a cart, that means you need to buy it, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And when you see the fridge, it's in stock.
Yep.
I love it. It's a great idea. I have to go buy milk today because I went to Target like Monday or Sunday, whatever it was, and I was like, oh, we have enough, and now we don't have enough, which, but now, yeah, you're right. Like, there are things where I always buy. I would just like to know if it's in stock or not.
Yep.
That's very cool. I like the idea.
Yep. I mean, also I specifically wanted the application to be as simple as possible. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It will not check the prices. It will not show the images. It will not compare different supermarket and so on and so on. This is purely your own organizers for the items that you have or don't have in stock. Okay, so it is absolutely simple.
I like it. Cool, Mark. So go check it out. It's it's REPETO list.com. How far long is the app, Mark? When can we expect to see it in the App Store?
Okay, it is already on my phone. It is on my wife's phone and a couple of the friends' phones.
Nice.
And we are testing it. I would say it's in pre-alpha stage.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Not all functionality is ready. Okay. Obviously, the friends of mine are giving the feedback. The ambitious plan is that we will release it to the public this summer. Okay. So I would say, by the end of August, it should be ready. Should be there.
Mm-hmm.
There are still items that I want to add. The application itself will be free, but then it will have limits. Okay, what I want to do, I don't want to monetize it in a way of displaying the ads. Okay, I personally don't like the ads. Okay, and the application will be free for everyone to download, create their own list with some limits on the number of items that you can create. So everyone can see, okay, whether I'm gonna like this application or not. Useful, not useful. And no hard feelings. If someone thinks that this is not application for myself, go on, delete it. Uh, I want to offer the in-app purchase, which will unlock the unlimited items, possibility to create multiple lists. Okay, so for instance, you can differentiate, let's say, rather than having one grocery list, you might want to split one list is food, the second one is home and hygiene product, things like washing up liquid, uh, um, the black bags, plastic bags for the beans, and so on and so on. It will synchronize between devices. So for instance, if you swipe something as in stock, not in stock, that will reflect in on your wife's phone or your kid's phone if they are helping you with the shopping, and that will also synchronize the list itself.
Is that a premium feature? The synchronization?
Yes, and that will be the premium feature, as an in-app purchase.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah. If I want to ask who is it for, I would say it is for the busy housewives, for the moms, wives responsible for the shopping. Probably I wouldn't target people like students, singles that normally buy sort of like a hamburger or cheeseburger on the way back from home or something. There is another use that initially I was thinking about the second application, which would mimic the repeto list, but things like another repetitive type of buying that you perform might be the stationery. Let's say the office manager that buys regularly things like a toner, paper clips, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another option. And this is my application. I would appreciate if listeners can go have a look, see whether they like it, sign up on the form, and obviously I promise I will not spam it. I'm not gonna send any dodgy emails to the people. I'm genuine sort of person. I would really appreciate any feedback, any ideas. I'm obviously open to the ideas.
Cool. So, Mark, I'll link up all that into the show notes, and I'll try to put it into the actual show notes of the episode as well, so you guys go check it out. It will this video, we're doing a Google Hangout right now, so there's actually a video of it. So if you want to see us on camera, you can do that if you go to mobileappchat.com. But guys, I want to leave with this. In the intro music of Mobile App Chat that you just heard, it says, the #1 resource. I want to be that for appreneurs. So that's my goal. But it also says a community of like-minded individuals, and that's what this is all about. And that's why I'm doing this, is to answer the community questions, but also to highlight who's in the community itself. And Mark, we've kept in contact, and you've been an awesome, awesome person to get to know. And so I'm happy for you, and I'm excited that you're leaving your job. I'm excited that you're doing something that you're passionate about.
Me too, Steve.
What's that?
Me too.
I'm excited for this new app because it looks cool, and I really do honestly like it, and I'm excited to see what you've done with it. So, like I said, this is all about the community, so thank you all for listening. And if you want to ask me a question, I'm starting this new segment. Let's see how it goes. But it's called, if you go to yosteve.co, let's get on a Google Hangout. We'll talk like this. You can ask me anything you want, and then we'll highlight what you've been working on as well. So go to yosteve.co if you want to learn more about these type of episodes. Mark, thank you so much for taking the time coming on.
Steve, thank you very much. That was, a great opportunity for me. Great pleasure. I would say a fan of your Mobile App Chat podcast, and I was always sort of like listening to the people that you're discussing and asking questions and so on and so on. And I was thinking, will I be ever invited to this sort of event? So I'm really grateful. Thank you very much, Steve. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, and you'll have to come back on. Let us know how the app is doing as well, and I'm happy to have you back on here.
Absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you at the next chat.
Thank you.